go. Let's go. Let's go.
Make some noise.
Thank you, Ingraham. Ingraham. Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, the leader of this great party, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingraham.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
That's my papa.
I call you, I need you, my heart's on fire. You come to me wild and wild. You come to me, give me everything I need.
Make some noise.
Me a lifetime. Are you ready? Are you ready? And a world of dreams.
That's my papa.
All of the candidates. All of the candidates.
What it means.
All of the candidates. All of the candidates.
You're wrong. Take my heart and make it strong. You're simply the best.
All of these F&M candidates.
The best.
This is the winning team. This is the team 38 that will take Nassau and all of the family islands. It will take Grand Bahama 5, Abaco 2, Eleuthera 2, Andros 2, Exuma, Cat Island, Rumpke, and St. Salvador. It will take Long Island. It will take Michael, Meguana, Inagua, Auckland, Crooked Island, and Long Bay Key. It will take Bimini.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Are you serious?
These are your candidates. Come Monday, we are voting F&M.
Each time you leave me, I start losing control. Walking away with my heart.
Please make some noise for all of the candidates in this upcoming general election. If you've not arrived at Clifford Park, don't bother to come. This is the winning team. Make some noise.
Now, where's the music man situated? Where are you situated? Can you watch my hand? Fellow Bahamians, Young people of the Bahamas. Over the hill. Family Islands. I gotta say it tonight. Lord, look at the people.
You're simply the best.
That's my papa.
You know, some other people had a meeting here the other night, and somebody called me this morning and said they had plenty of people. I said, you want to see people? Look tonight.
Color Red is on the move.
The wave of Color Red is not only unstoppable, it is unbelievable, and it is unthinkable. They've gained momentum all over the Bahamas. I began this morning in Fox Hill. Fox Hill, gone, gone, gone.
Color Red is on the move.
Earlier in the week, we were up in Anagua, Mayaguana, Acklands, and Crooked Island. Alfred Gray, you'll see no more. We tied the bag down there, and then we tied again and said, FNM, baby.
Who you voted for?
The same thing in Exuma. Tied the bag, tied the seat, and stamped on it, FNM. Same thing in Central and South Lutra. PLP seats are falling like flies all over the place.
Oh.
I just come from Grand Bahama. They are all FNM. I've been to Cat Island and San Salvador today. They're in the bag, but the bag ain't tied yet. But we can tie the bag tomorrow. And then Bray will be gone. Family Islands, come with me. Come with the FNM. We are the ones who deliver for you. Here in Nassau, we got the PLP in shock. Color Red has been building support in Baintown and Grantstown, in Centerville and Farm Road, in Angleton and Marathon and Nassau Village.
Color Red is on the move. Color Red is on the move.
I ask all of these communities to come with us this time. We will deliver for you big time.
Who you voted for?
For years now, the FNM's record on empowerment, equality, and progress for women is unmatched. Even this election, we have more female candidates. We are the party that has the best record of delivering for the health and education of the nation's children. Women of the Bahamas, I ask you to support the FNM on my... Our recovery and growth agenda will open up new heritage tourism to various creative arts and industries. Building on what we are already doing, we will ensure greater opportunities, business and incentives for Bahamian professionals, such as architects, designers, artists, and engineers. Young professionals, it is the FNM as the party of small business and entrepreneurship. I ask for your support now and in helping this economy to grow. Many people passing the new straw market and the craft market at Cable Beach are reporting that they are seeing red all over the place. What they're seeing is FNM red, as scores of straw vendors are now showing that they too have turned red.
Color Red is on the move. Color Red is on the move.
They turned red and they ain't scared. Straw vendors, come with the FNM. We were the ones who were there for you when you needed us. We will always deliver for you. Papa loves you, straw vendors. Come with me.
That's my papa.
Now, I know that there are many who support the PLP who are still not sure who to vote for. When you go into that booth, it's only between you and your God. When you vote, ask yourself in your heart of hearts, who's really been better for you, better for the country, especially these tough times? I've worked hard to gain your trust, not as a talker, but as a doer. If all it took to get things done is talk, the world would have been almost perfect. Scripture reminds us, by the sweat of our brows, not the wagging of our tongues. PLPs, come with me. At least this time, come with me.
Color red is on the move.
This is my final election as a candidate for office. During the next 5 years, I want to finish the work I started many years ago to make sure we build this greater opportunity society. To finish the work of my lifetime, I ask for your support so that I can continue to provide you with the opportunities to realize your dreams. I am so proud of our young people in the Bahamas. I look to the next generation with confidence, hope, and admiration. We all know it's a small minority of young people involved with criminal enterprise. The vast majority of young people are our hope for tomorrow and our promise for today. Last week in North Abaco, I dedicated my final campaign for the House to Mama in recognition of the great contribution to national development made by her and that generation. Tonight, I look to the future and to a new generation, young women and young men. I dedicate this, my last campaign, as leader of the F&M to each of you. I do so as a father and as a grandfather. I also do as a great believer in your potential and your success. In this spirit, I previously announced that in the first year of our next term, I will lead an economic mission to Latin America. I will take with me, when I go to Brazil, the Minister of Youth and Sports. While in Brazil, I will seek to meet with representatives of an outstanding youth and community development program called Afro Reggae. Let me tell you a bit about it. The program began in the grassroots neighborhood in the Brazilian city of Rio de Janeiro. It was developed in response to serious violence in the community. The group initially offered workshops in dance, percussion, soccer, and Brazilian culture. Today they have a circus, arts group, a theatrical group, community service programs, choirs, a newspaper, radio programs, and internet site dedicated to Afro-Brazilian culture. The mission of Afro Reggae is to offer a cultural and artistic education for adolescents by affording local youth more chances of strengthening their citizenship and providing them a viable path away from entanglement in the prevalent drug trade. Through the power of the arts, entertainment and film, and documentary production, Afro Reggae has transformed the lives of thousands. It has transformed minds and hearts by providing career paths and helping to break the cycle of poverty for many. It has restored communities while giving voice to cultural expression. We will launch such a program of empowerment in the Bahamas. The F&M's vision is to utilize Bahamian culture as the route or the means to help transform the lives of and provide hope and opportunity to a new generation of young Bahamians. So let us use our Bahamian culture, such as junkadoo, wake and scrape, quadrille dancing, and other forms of artistic expression, to help our young people to build community, form a greater Bahamian identity, and turn away from gangs, antisocial behavior, and other at-risk behaviors. Such a cultural center may discover a new Freddie Mullins Sr., another Painters Taylor, Sidney Poitier, Susan Wallace, or Paul Mills. It may help to discover new Cleophas Adley, Joanne Callender, or Max Taylor. Such a center will offer workshop in various arts, cultural expression, and entertainment. It can help to discipline and guide scores of young men. It will help them to give voice to their talents. Our vision is to link the arts with entrepreneurship, so that our artists and entertainers can also achieve commercial success. Young Bahamians, my vision for the Bahamas is written more in deeds than in fancy words and slogans. My vision is written more in talk than in action. Written more in action than in talk. The F&M has leadership you can trust. We make promises you can believe. If I tell you that we are going to create such a cultural center, you can swear by me on that. Music man, plenty old people are up tonight waiting for me to speak, so please keep that music down. Old 86-year-old lady in Duncantown, Ragged Island. This F&M is a good government, you know. In Duncantown, Ragged Island, she's now sitting now watching me on her television set. And it's time for Mama to go sleep, so let me talk fast. Young men and women, don't vote for those who only offer you sentimentality or slogans that don't add up at the end of the day. It is not true that all the parties are alike. Ask those students at the College of the Bahamas who were able to take advantage of $25 million in scholarships. Each year we granted $5 million in scholarships to the College of the Bahamas over 5 years. The PLP granted $5 million for an entire 5-year period. It is the F&M that created the Jump Start program, self-starters, and will do even more in our next term. It's the F&M that has the greater and proven record of helping young people to succeed in sports, in school, and in arts. Selecting a government is not about giving someone a chance to be Prime Minister. It's about selecting the best person available to govern the nation at any given point in time. This election has always been about leadership. On Monday, you have very clear choices and decide who can best lead this country during these critical times. On the one hand, there's poor judgment or untested judgment. I offer you good and careful judgment. On the one hand, there's failed leadership or untested leadership. I offer you bold, strong, and proven leadership. On the one hand, there's a constant wringing of hands by some of the unsteady, nervous hands of others. I offer you strong and steady hands. And I don't know about other people's hands. As for me, these hands are clean hands. These are firm hands made strong by hard work and having to get over the rough side of the mountain. On the one hand, there's a bunch of bad apples that spoil the whole PLP barrel. Or there's that green dilly that will give you indigestion and bellyache if you pick that. I offer you the fruits of our F&M labor over the last 5 years. On the one hand, there are those who ask you to imagine what they intended but didn't do in office. And those who ask you to imagine what they might do if they ever get elected. You don't have to imagine what the F&M do. You can see, you can touch it, you can use all these things we have done. You see the new Iraqi port? The PLP promised to build one, you know. As usual, it never ready and delivery failed party failed to deliver. Other people talk about empowering Bahamians in the future. The F&M is empowering Bahamians now. Yesterday, we officially launched a company that owns the new state-of-the-art port of Nassau. Your F&M government turned a near monopoly once dominated by a few families into a great treasure chest for the Bahamian people. Now 60% of the port will be owned by the government, Bahamian citizens and pension funds. There's a name for that, you know. It's called putting Bahamians first. With the new port, a wide cross-section of Bahamians will afford the opportunity to purchase shares in a lucrative sector of the national economy. We've dramatically broadened ownership from traditional families such as Kelly, Simonet, Bethel, Farrington, Moscow, Wells, and Lightburn. The names of those who can now own shares in the port will run the gamut from A to Z in the telephone directory, with surnames like Bain and Burris and Copper and Darlin and Ferguson and Roll and Smith and Thompson and maybe even an Ingraham in there. That the children of stevedores, and my father was a stevedore, the children of stevedores and seamen of yesteryear now own shares in the 21st century port of Nassau is a new day in the Bahamas. If you don't mind me saying so, this is the kind of world change that we can believe in. My father, as I said, was a stevedore. My mother did housekeeping. If their child could become Prime Minister of the Bahamas, then the children of every laborer in this country should be able to own a greater part of this economy. Let me say a word to civil servants. Our commitment to you is unwavering. Never during his 31 total years in office did our opponents ever offer to make you a shareholder in the Bahamas in the manner in which we did it in Newport. Today, scores of civil servants own shares in this enterprise. One customs officer said to me that she would have to be even more diligent working at the port. I asked her why. Her answer was as clear as the bell. Well, I own shares in the port. If any funny business go down here, they're ripping me off and my family off. I said those customs officers who the PLP tried to manipulate, that there's still time to show them how you feel for them trying to bamboozle you. I know them well. Don't mind all them sweet words and promises Christian company made to you. That'll never happen in a million years. You aren't the first and you won't be the last, they fool. Election day even ain't reached yet and they already let you down. They didn't even care enough about you to take you seriously in their platform. You were going all out for them and they couldn't even remember you in this platform. I might be a tough negotiator, but I'm a fair man. I will deliver what I promised. That other crew will promise you everything, I will deliver precious little. One young man told me this was like a Rastafarian election with certain colors seeking your support. So I asked him who he gonna vote for. He said, Papa. He said, Papa, I like boiled fish. I said, boiled fish? Why is that? In one of the parties, something missing from the bowl, the main ingredient, the fish, he said. That party wanted me to close my eyes and imagine I got boiled fish. Then he said that when he looked at the pot of another party, all he see was old fish heads, which seemed like it was in the deep freeze for a long time. And the pot looked like it ain't been fresh up for a long time. But he said he liked what he see in that red pot, which looks like it's been stirred by seasoned hands with fresh new ingredients and talents. According to him, one pot is too cold, the other pot too hot, and this F&M boiled pot is just right. Fellow Bahamians, women of the Bahamas, our opponents seek to build an opportunity club for themselves and their families. We seek to build a greater opportunity society for every Bahamian child, regardless of the circumstance of his birth. The leader of the opposition says that we finished the major New Providence Road and utility upgrade too quickly. He says we should have stretched it out for 10 years. That was originally the plan, you know. But of course, we lost 5 years when they were in office. And so, I apologize for the delay. We're doing the best we can, but we made plenty of old wires under the ground, jumbled up. You know, we found them under the roads, been laid 50, 60, 70 years ago. Many of them rusted and busted. We found utility wires all jumbled up and at risk of potentially causing fires and serious electrical and other problems. You know, sometimes, women, all the wires get jumbled up on the back of your TV or the computer. You know how frustrating it is to have to untangle all those wires? This is exactly what we had to do, the length and breadth of this island. And to make sure they wouldn't get twisted up again, we labeled many thousand feet of them. But more importantly, we had to dig up and throw out miles and miles of old rotten pipes. I apologize for the delays, inconvenience, and hardship caused by the roadworks, but I will not apologize for delivering clean, fresh water, good water pressure to tens of thousands of residents of Hubert. We will not apologize for delivering safe water for the babies and grandbabies and children on this island. We will not apologize for delivering healthy water to residents over the hill and thousands of people who live in the east. There's an old African proverb that says, filthy water cannot be washed. We do not apologize for banishing orange water from this island. Christie should be ashamed of himself for criticizing our effort. Water is not just a commodity or product, it's the basis for all living things, as important as the air we breathe. Just like we need clean air, we need clean water. This is what we are doing. We've begun the most massive water upgrade in the history of the Bahamas. And we do so to make life better for all of you. We intend to do more in our next term in office. Much more. Tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, I shall give my final address to you on television and radio. Christie and the other party will speak before me. I'm not sure Christie's going to speak because he reportedly told ZNS that he is busy, his schedule is very busy, and he may have to have somebody else speak for him tomorrow night. But I figure if he won't be Prime Minister of the Bahamas, he can look on that TV and talk to you. So please tune in at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. One of our ambitions for Over the Hill is to ensure that we put in place a program that will ensure that there's a proper water connection to every home over the hill. We'll do so bit by bit, year by year. I want Christie's constituency of Farm Road to be like mine of Cooperstown. I want to banish outside toilets for him like we did in Cooperstown, Abaco. I want to tell you, a big upset is in the making in Bain and Grandstown. BJ has had his chance, like Christie didn't think enough for you to spend a big chunk of his constituency allowance on you. You know who could have been having that money in Baintown? They didn't care enough, eh? Well, give John Boswick a chance. And give Ella Livers a chance. John is young and full of energy, has many ideas and plans for you. Ella is a teacher dedicated to developing young people. They'll do great things with your help. Give them a chance. I'll be with them. I'll be backing them. I'm your man. Stick with me. You know, the curtain is about to be drawn on another great drama in the political history of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. For the last 4 weeks, we have conducted yet another free and open debate leading up to the grand finale. That'll be on Monday, when the Bahamian people go to the polls and exercise their right to select the persons who will represent them in Parliament. The people of the Bahamas will be electing a government, not just an MP. You'll be electing a government. And you ought to put your X next to the torch. Don't worry about no name. You look for the torch. You put your X next to that torch. The campaign has been conducted with the usual exuberance and celebration. It is well that we celebrate our good fortune in having a proud parliamentary democracy. It is a wonderful legacy bequeathed to us by history, nurtured by the sacrifices of many who went before us, and jealously guarded by all of us. I'm glad that despite the exuberance and the passion which we Bahamians bring to our politics, we have again avoided any serious incidents of disorder, except at the PLP rally last night, a couple of stabbings. But of course, that's what happens when you give them liquor and you bust them and you pay them to come and the rest of it, etc. Okay? I urge all of us to keep things calm, to do the right things. My colleagues and I and the F&M once again present ourselves to you. We ask that you renew our mandate to serve you in government. We do so in a spirit of gratitude and with confidence. We are grateful for the honor of having served our country, especially during the past 5 years. I am personally grateful for the privilege of having served as a Member of Parliament for North Abaco and the High Office of Prime Minister. We are grateful that with the help of the Lord and with the support and trust of the Bahamian people, we've been able to navigate the Bahamian ship of state safely through the most turbulent global economic recession since the Great Depression 80 years ago. We are confident that you, the Bahamian people, will pass favourable judgment because of our performance during these times. We are confident because despite these very difficult times, despite unforeseen challenges, we have been able to fulfill 95% of our trust agenda. We are confident when you compare our record in office with that of our opponents, you conclude that Hubert, Ingraham and the F&M can be trusted far more to fill the promises made in their campaign. I again invite you, therefore, to examine our manifesto, into which we put a great deal of serious thought and consideration. Look at what we've done, and ask whether under the same circumstances our opponents would have come anywhere near our accomplishments for the Bahamian people. Look at the promises we've made, which constitute a well thought out program of achievable goals. Now compare that with our opponents' hodgepodge mishmash of hurriedly put together pie-in-the-sky promises in their dream book. We promised you government free of scandal and corruption. We delivered. No corrupt deals for Korean boats to fish in Bahamian waters. No corrupt favours for scandalous celebrities. No lobbying for an oil company or influence peddling or visa scandals. Now we promise you continued clean, corruption-free government, and you know we'll deliver. Because that is what we do. We deliver. I again say to residents of Over the Hill, can you trust the sincerity and good intentions of a leader who couldn't find the time or simply didn't care enough to spend $200,000 to do something constructive in your constituency? BJ Norris did the same thing in Bain and Grandstown. Together, Christie and Norwich didn't spend the $200,000, which is not a little bit of money, you know. If they come together, if they come to you trying to sing Al Green, tell them to hush them out. In 2002, now the Funk CDR was led by BJ, with Labour said in its election platform, they take seriously the National Crime Commission report. It was true then, it is still true today. I remind Dr. Norwich that the PLP is the pride of which he's gone. Fellow Bahamians, we must do many things to fight crime in this country and its causes, which is exactly what my government is doing. We have done and are doing more in every area to fight crime and its causes than was done by the Christie government, much more. But to be effective, we have to have clean hands ourselves, a strong leader, a decisive leader. The fight against crime will not be won through slogans, speeches, brochures, dishonest TV ads, and billboards. If someone cannot lead his own party, he cannot lead on crime. Perry Christie is incapable of neither. You cannot lead an assault on the causes of crime if you tolerate or participate in activities which questions your commitment to fight illegality and corruption at every level, especially in your own government. Officers and members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Royal Bahamas Defence Force, I thank you very much for your vote at the advance poll. As I thank all the others who voted in the advance poll. Now, ladies and gentlemen, not even in office, the PLP is again faced with a massive conflict of interest by Perry Christie and Brave Davis. Mr. Christie has gone dead quiet when it comes to answering serious questions about his position as an oil lobbyist. Two others in Mr. Christie's inner circle have close connections to the oil and gas sector in our country, Leslie Miller and Alison Maynard Gibson. In government, Mr. Miller signed a questionable oil agreement without the approval of his cabinet, and Mrs. Maynard's private law firm earned a performance bonus of nearly $1 million for getting an approval for a gas company clients from the government when she served as a cabinet minister. Both believe that their interest outweighs your interest when it comes to oil futures and oil exploration in the Bahamas. They believe we are fools. They shout that they believe in Bahamians. They try to tell a story that they will invest in Bahamians. Do not trust them. Indeed, you need not take my word on this. Listen to how Leslie Miller put it himself. Play the video.
The PLP claims it believes in the Bahamas and Bahamians. This claim is not only hollow, it's also a lie. The PLP believes Bahamians are stupid and cannot think for themselves. Listen to Leslie Miller, PLP candidate for Tall Pines, as he confirms the PLP believes Bahamians are stupid.
Totally. The stupidity of especially black Bahamians. Anytime you hear some people of color say anything, they go nuts. You go on the internet, these people go on the internet, find all kind of foolishness, non-scientific, and they feed it to them, and they believe it.
Can't believe your ears? Listen to him again.
Totally. The stupidity of especially black Bahamians. Anytime you hear some people of color say anything, they go nuts. You go on the internet, these people go on the internet, find all kind of foolishness, non-scientific, and they feed it to them, and they believe it.
Unthinkable. Unbelievable.
You cannot trust Christie, Davis, Miller, and Maynard Gibson on this oil business. As for me, my hands are not tied. My hands are free to make the best decision in the interest of the Bahamian people. That Perry Christie has gone silent on his role as an oil lobbyist and refuses to answer important questions speaks volumes. It is those unanswered questions that you should be worried about if that gold rush crew come back. I remind you that oil is called black gold. I also want to remind you of something you may or may not have heard me say in Freeport earlier tonight. Mr. Philip Brave Davis, the deputy leader of the PLP, is involved in a case with some people whose names are Vicefish. Some serious allegations are made against Philip Brave Davis in that case. He wrote to the judge and asked the judge to please seal the file, by that I mean keep it secret, say because the election is coming up, and he didn't want this come out before election. The case has now been set down for Wednesday of next week, 2 days after the election. I know what the allegations are, you don't. If you knew what I know, you wouldn't vote for them. Ladies and gentlemen, we had the banished influence president at the highest level of government back in 1992. We must not let it return to the Bahamas. There's a deep underlying and disturbing pattern in the PLP. While we in the F&M are busy trying to encourage all registered voters to vote and vote early, they are doing their best to try to influence voters. I got many reports. One report from a Haitian community where they're giving out where some people are giving out yellow shirts with money stuff in it. One shirt had as much as $600 in it. But the truth of the matter is, Bahamian Haitians are voting FNM. Belarus! Belarus! My fellow Bahamians, we've been encouraged by donations you've made online in person. We've been encouraged by donations you've made online and in person at various branches of the World Bank of Canada. We ask for your continued support in the countdown to Election Day. Your support of time, talent, and treasure is extraordinary. On behalf of the F&M, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And on my own behalf, I thank you. I ask that as many of you as possible attend the church service of your choice tomorrow, as will the general election candidates of the Free National Movement. Fellow Bahamians from Matthewtown and Agua to Cooperstown and West End, Grand Bahama. Cooperstown, Abaco, and West End, Grand Bahama. As a boy, Mama always told me to lift up my head. She knew I belonged to her and I was a child of God. As I grew into a man, I came to figure out why she wanted me to keep my head upright. That's the only way to see where you're going, you know. It's the only way you could look to the future and take hold of the opportunities and possibilities of life. Timothy Gibson also reminded us in our national anthem to lift up our heads. So tonight I say to our young people and first-time voters, to every family island, to Over the Hill, to every constituency in Nassau, to Grand Bahama, to workers, to business persons, to public officers, to budding entrepreneurs, to professionals, to every resident of this island, lift up your heads. We have challenges to overcome, but we are heading in the right direction. We are headed steady sunward. My fellow Bahamians, lift up your head to the rising sun, Bahama land. Till the road you trod lead unto your God. March on, Bahama land. Thank you, God. Bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Simply the